To come to terms with the deeper meaning of your life, the greater purpose of your life, there must be a deep evaluation, and this evaluation will be ongoing. It is fundamentally an evaluation regarding relationships. But I use the word relationship here in a more complete sense, for everything that you are associated with represents a relationship: your possessions, your home, your employment, the world itself, the change that is occurring within the world, the nation in which you live, and many other things as well. They all represent relationship. This is a very important way of looking at your involvement in the world, for it gives you a very clear pathway to follow in discerning what is valuable and what is not, what is helpful and what is a hindrance, what will be needed in the future and what will hold you back. Your relationships are not just with people, but with places, with things, with events, with nations, and with the whole world itself. People often do not think of things in the context of relationships, so this is perhaps a new way of looking at the world around you. Its value is that it gives you a very clear discernment for what works in relationships in one arena can translate into other areas as well. If you have a harmful relationship with your work, for example, it will generate many of the same difficulties and impedance in your life as a difficult relationship with a person. If you have a difficult relationship with your home, it will hold you back. It will limit your possibilities. You even have a relationship with the future. This is true because you were sent into the world to serve the world as it undergoes the beginning period of great change. You have a relationship with the future. You have a relationship with the past, or with your evaluation of the past, to be more precise. The condition of your life, then, as a whole, represents the condition of all these relationships. And you have no neutral relationships, for every one of them is either helping you or hindering you and holding you back. You are either gaining strength or losing strength in every one of these relationships. Certainly, some are more important and potent than others, but they all have a bearing on your life. So the deep evaluation is really an evaluation of what you are giving your life to and what you are assigning in life to be your chief influences, for every relationship represents an influence. The power of influence is very significant, but most people are not aware of this or its consequences. Certainly, you can recognize that the person you are married to would have a great influence over you, perhaps the chief influence in your life. But people rarely think, in terms of marriage or partnership, that the other person would become the chief influence in their lives. If this criterion were added to the evaluation of the other person in their relationship and the possibilities for union and partnership with another person, perhaps you would have a very different outcome than what you see in the world today. So think for a moment in terms of everything being a relationship. You have a relationship with people, places, things, events, the past, the future, world events, and your nation. You even have a relationship with the greater community of intelligent life in the universe, though it is unlikely that you have discovered what this means to you yet and how important it will be for your future. The next thing to consider is that each of these relationships represents an influence. Each influences you, and you influence them. You have power in the world in this regard, and the world has power over you. The power moves in both directions. And this power gives you the power of decision, which can be applied to more circumstances than you are yet aware of. This power of decision is fundamental to your success and to your future in a world that will be impacted by the great waves of change, by environmental destruction, by the decline of your fundamental resources, by a change in the world's climate, by ever-increasing economic and political instability, and the great risk of war and conflict that this will produce. The decisions that are important are the ones you make now, for there is time to prepare for the great waves of change. But time is of the essence. You do not have a great deal of time, for already the great waves of change are affecting the world. Yet here you stand with all of your relationships and all of their influences upon you. The great evaluation begins with taking stock of where you are now, how you spend your time, your energy, your focus and your interests. Where is your life being given away? What is it being focused upon? Where is it being assigned? You only have so much energy in the day, so much time in the day, so much space within your mind to consider things. Where is that all going now? What are you doing? Who are you with? What are your priorities? Where are you gaining energy in your life, and where are you losing it? And to whom are you losing it, and to what are you losing it? Where do you feel certainty, and where do you feel uncertain? What relationships are you in now that give you a sense of certainty and direction? And which relationships cloud that certainty or obstruct it completely? As you can see, there are many questions, and these are not all of them. That is why this deep evaluation takes time. It is not something you do in an hour as a process or an exercise. It is not something you spend a weekend thinking about. Instead, it is something you must give yourself to as one of the main priorities of your life, particularly at this time. This should be a major focus for you. For if you do not exercise your focus in this way, if you do not gain a greater discernment, you will not know what to do in the world today or tomorrow. And as the great waves of change come, your uncertainty and your vulnerability will increase significantly. Therefore, you must begin somewhere, and you must begin with where you are, not with what you want, or what you believe, or what you think will happen next, or your goals, or your ambitions or your dreams. Where are you right now? Who are you with, and what are you doing with them? What do you own, and is it giving you strength or taking strength away from you? What do you believe, and are your beliefs giving you clarity, or are they a replacement for knowledge itself? Where is your time going? Where is your mind going? If you sit in meditation, what is concerning your mind? Where is your mind going? What problems is it solving? Obviously, this is a very big task and confusing as well because it requires you to become objective about your life. And objectivity here is of central importance. Do not be swayed by the thought that you must be loving as opposed to being fearful, for that is all preferential thinking. It does not represent clarity of mind or real certainty at all. Do not fall into the trap of the dichotomy between being loving versus being fearful. The objective here is to see clearly. The real dichotomy is whether you have wisdom or not, whether you are responsible or not, whether you are preparing for the future or not, and whether you are seeing what is coming over the horizon of your life or not. Begin then with simple things. Review everything that you own. Everything that you own, even insignificant things, have a value to you of some kind, and in a subtle way represent an influence. If your life is full of things that have no usefulness or purpose, then they are taking time and energy from you to a certain degree. You still own them, and so you are still in relationship with them. They are occupying space in your home and in your mind. Everything you own really either needs to be fundamentally practical and necessary, or personally very meaningful, and that meaning must come in a way that supports who you are now and where you feel you are heading in life. Things that represent old memories have an influence, drawing you backwards, when in fact you must be facing the future and learning how to live fully in the moment. It is easier to let go of things than to let go of people or to let go of security. So it is a place to begin. The process is one of sorting out, bringing a greater objectivity into your life, looking at every possession that you have and asking, is this really useful to me? Is it personally meaningful to me? And does it enhance and strengthen my awareness and understanding of myself? You will find that your life is cluttered, that things are weighing you down, and that there are a lot of old things in your life that perhaps you never think about. But, in reality, they are having an influence over you. As you let them go, you feel lighter and better, and somehow over time your mind becomes clearer. This is a good place to start. It is not very challenging, but it is a beginning step in developing discernment and relationships, for everything you do, everything you own, and everything you are associated with represents relationships. All of these relationships have an influence upon you, upon your awareness, your decisions, and the direction that you know you must follow. Begin, then, to clear out your life, to simplify. You do not want to carry a lot of extra baggage into the future, for the future will be very uncertain in the face of the great waves of change. You want to be flexible, you want to be able to move easily, you do not want to be encumbered by lots of possessions. Here you must be very honest with yourself about what you own and what you do not own, what is meaningful and what is not meaningful. At the level of knowledge, it is very clear. It is either a yes or a no. Or in some cases, there will be neutrality. But regarding things that you own, that you possess and that you are responsible for, generally you will find there will be a yes or a no within yourself. This will make the decision-making very easy, as long as you act upon it, putting away those things that you no longer need or should not own to be given away or thrown away, whatever the case may require. This is a valuable exercise because you need to free your time and your energy for greater things. Here you are beginning with the simplest things, the simplest relationships, for you will have greater challenges as you proceed. You are going to need a tremendous amount of energy in the future, and you must gather your resources together. You must gather your strength and build your focus. If your time and life are being spent mindlessly in all directions, you will not have the power to do this, for power here represents concentration. If your life is not focused and concentrated, then your energy is being lost in many different places. Now you must plug up the gaps. Now you must reclaim what is being lost. Now you must gather together all of your strength, for you will need it for the difficult times ahead. You will need it to override and overcome the other influences in your life that are dissuading you and holding you back from doing what you know you must do and from discerning a greater direction that knowledge within you is attempting to provide for you as you go along. This deep evaluation continues on to greater things, to your work, to your relationships, to your relationship with your body, and to your relationship with your mind. Here it is more difficult to bring objectivity because you can identify with these things far more. Identifying with things means that you lose your objectivity regarding them. To review your work, to review your relationships, and to review your relationship with your mind and your body, which represents your relationship with yourself, require a very great objectivity. But at the level of knowledge, the response is fundamental. For example, in your relationships, you must review every one of them to see if they are helping you or hindering you, if the people you are involved with are moving forward in life. In some circumstances, in your employment for example, you may have to work with people regardless, but how you engage with them will make a big difference in the impact they will have upon your life. Regarding relationships that you choose and select for yourself, you must evaluate each one. Is this relationship strengthening me or weakening me? Is this person moving in the direction that I must move? Do we have a greater destiny together, or should I release this person to follow their own journey in life? These are valuable questions. You must gain the strength, the courage and the objectivity to ask them and to act upon them. One person in your life can hold you back and alter the destiny and course of your life. You should never underestimate the power of influence in your relationships. Even if it is a casual friendship, this friendship is either helping you or hindering you in moving forward.